It's another day, and I'm going to leave this for now. There's so little water that it's taking quite a while. Of course, it has to soak the cloth, and some drips through the cloth. But I've removed the silt that had washed up ahead of it like a little sandbar, and I placed it over the cloth. So in a way, it's like a filter that I'm purposely blocking. And you can see there's still water coming through, which is good. That's what I want. But if we get a hard rain, or a rain at all, I imagine it'll now spill out the bottom of that cloth and then go on its way down the bis. You can see here that water is coming in. It's going along. But when it reaches that dip, having to fill that dip, and then also the leakage that still is there, is going to take more work, I believe. Well, with such a bit of water, it will, yeah. I could spend time here filling it in, but I'm not going to, not today. See the cardinal flowers? Here we are at the confluential dam. A confluence between that creek and this one over here. And this prezo that I've built, this diversion dam, is, it's letting water through as it should. But we had a pretty good rain yesterday for a while. And it was enough to bring the flow out of the mountain up. And before that, a day or so before that, I actually broke through the bank. So it's working. I mean, I'm diverting water and I'm sending it toward my field. It should get there today, actually, because now there's enough of a flow. There's a lot to be said about this spot where I broke through the bank. I'll just tell you right now, this isn't a normal bank. I think this is a dam. There was a dam here before that I broke through, but we'll have to see. I'm not sure if you can understand this from just my holding this camera and explaining it to you, but all those holes look like potholes. That's where the pigs have been rooting deep to get to the skunk cabbage. And they didn't eat the leaves at first, but you can see it's pretty much decimated. What they were after was the root, and it's deep. And now that the ground is soft, partly because I've softened it, they can get down there, and they spend hours here, especially the big ones, digging down to get to those roots. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I just stepped in one of the holes. If skunk cabbage comes back here, I hope it does to some extent. There's a hole I just stepped into. But anyway, in the process of rooting everything up like that and digging deep, they interrupted a contour ditch that I had dug very easily as soon as I broke through that bank about 2 days ago, and it goes on out through there. You can see where it goes, but they disrupted it. Now what I'm doing is I'm just connecting the potholes to potholes and reestablishing it. That's a pretty good flow of water, though. That should go out into the field. One of the troubles with filming right now, it's not too long after dawn, is that everything's wet because of the rain. Whereas a little later, what'll be wet is just what I'm irrigating. Everything's wet. But I'm going to see, here comes the sun. I'm going to walk down this because I have reestablished it where the pigs with their rooting interrupted it. I'm going to walk down from where I just left. There were hydraulic leaps going down, ripples you might call them, for that last 6 feet. But now it's smooth. It's because this is on a dead level. This is a dead level contour ditch. Wherever there's ripples, there really shouldn't be, and I'll fix them later. I mean, here and there you see, like, there's a hydraulic jump. I'm stepping into the holes that the pigs made. Now, it wasn't very hard at all to reestablish this. With a hoe, I could have done it faster. But I wanted to show you where I'm headed with this. Now that I've managed to get the water, I'm going to say capture it from the mountain stream, creek if you wish. You know, these ripples really shouldn't be here, but it's not a big deal because I'll never run water the other way. I'll never be running it. See, when it's a contour ditch, it works as a drain or an irrigator, either one. You know, ideally, you have them so that you can open up either end. And if you open up both ends, well, it drains. Well, it will drain anyway, but you can see it's spilling out here into, it'll go from one pig hole to the next, which is fine because down here, I've got what I needed today, this morning anyway. I'll come back this afternoon with the pigs, watch them do their work. That water will be stopped by a little bit of a raised part here because years ago, oh, maybe 5, 6, maybe 8 years ago, I had my neighbor with his little backhoe dig me a contour ditch back into the woods in preparation for this. And it's still there. I mean, the pigs have dug holes all around it, but you'll see this afternoon, that'll all be one layer. And that water will be led out there into the field. And right now, the water that's laying in it is just what's coming from the ground because of the rain. But it'll soon get a new supply. And it'll run on out through. Now you can see it's dry. That ditch is dry out there. But that's headed really almost all the way to the blacksmith shop. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this water maybe today. I think that's enough for now. Aha! I knew I had a leak somewhere up here because there should have been more water down there by the lane. I don't know if that washed out or a pig pushed that rock out, but that's easily fixed. You see, it's like a pig-made or a rain-made hatch.